On Isla Nublar, there used to be a theme park with real dinosaurs known as Jurassic World. However, after an incident that caused dozens of creatures and humans to die, the place was abandoned. 6 months after the incident, 2 mercenaries are sent to the island in an underwater submersible to retrieve some dinosaur bones. When they find a skeleton, they cut off a rib and send it to the surface on a buoy. The mercenaries get ready to go back, but a terrifying creature appears behind them. On the surface, a helicopter is sent to pick up the buoy. The communications officer worries about the mercenaries because he's lost their signal. The pilots notice something moving in the woods and rush to rescue the officer. He can't hear his co-workers' warnings in the rain, so when he turns around, he's shocked to see a T-Rex roaring at him. The man starts running and drops his tablet, which is stepped on by the dinosaur. The team in the chopper tosses a ladder and the officer jumps just in time to grab it, dodging the beast's attack. The T-Rex bites the edge of the ladder and starts pulling, so the team considers cutting it to escape. However, the ladder breaks and the helicopter gets to fly away. Unfortunately, a mosasaurus jumps out of the water and swallows the officer whole in just a second. In the helicopter, the team sends their boss a message to announce they have the DNA sample. 3 years after the incident, there's still a debate about the island because a volcano has recently woken up there. If it erupts, it'll kill the last dinosaurs on Earth. Many activist groups think dinosaurs should be protected, but other people think they should be left to die. Former park manager Claire has founded the Dinosaur Protection Group, an organization dedicated to saving and protecting the dinosaurs. When the government refuses to fund a rescue operation, Claire receives an important call. Moments later, she's meeting Benjamin, a rich man who volunteers to pay for the rescue mission and bring the dinosaurs to a new sanctuary island where they'll be safe from human interference. Benjamin's assistant Eli explains the details of the plan, which includes following the trackers in the dinosaurs' bodies. He also points out that the velociraptor known as Blue is extremely smart, so they'll need her trainer to rescue her. Claire immediately goes to see Owen, the trainer who used to work at the park. They have a drink at the bar and Claire tries to recruit him. However, Owen thinks the plan is crazy and turns her down. That night, Owen rewatches old videos of Blue as a baby and changes his mind. The next morning, Owen surprises Claire in the plane and gets to meet paleo-veterinarian Zia and IT expert Franklin from the protection group. Meanwhile, at the manor, Benjamin chats with his granddaughter Maisie and tells her how much she is like her mother. Maisie asks if she also looks like her, and the housekeeper looks disturbed. Benjamin assures her that she does and that her mother would have tried to save the dinosaurs too. When the plane lands on the island, the group is surprised to discover that a base camp has already been set up. They're welcomed by Ken, a trophy hunter serving as the expedition facilitator. The local volcano is expelling lots of black smoke, so they need to move fast. The team joins the mercenaries in their trucks, which cross the front gates to reach the heart of the island. At the abandoned park, something is moving in a store window. The group hears some rumbling nearby and Zia immediately leaves the truck to watch a beautiful brachiosaurus pass by. Then they travel to the radio tower, where Franklin hacks the lock to get them inside. Claire's handprint turns on the computer and Franklin activates the system so they can find the dinosaurs via their chip implants. The mercenaries already captured a bunch of dinosaurs, so those appear together on the ship. They quickly locate Blue on the map, so Owen leaves with Zia and the mercenaries to find her while Franklin and Claire stay at the computer to act as guides. Knowing that Blue will hear them, Owen makes the truck stop earlier and continues alone on foot. Following paw prints on the ground, Owen finds a crashed vehicle and a small dinosaur comes out of it. Blue appears right behind it and Owen starts talking calmly to her while offering some food that she doesn't catch. Using a clicker and lots of reassuring words, Owen manages to calm Blue down. However, when he's about to connect with her, the mercenaries shoot her with tranquilizers. When the men surround her, a furious Blue jumps on one of them and severely wounds him. The guy ignores Ken's orders and shoots Blue with real bullets, so she collapses on the ground. Owen gets angry too and tries to attack Ken, who shoots him with a tranquilizer to put him to sleep. Zia runs to his side and grabs the fallen man's gun to threaten Ken. When the mercenaries point their guns at her, she reminds them that without her vet knowledge, Blue will die before she makes it to camp. The group has no choice but to put their weapons down. At that moment, the volcano starts to erupt and the radio tower gets cracks on its walls as it shakes. The guards protecting it run away in panic and the doors close, leaving Claire and Franklin locked inside. The mercenaries carry Blue in their trucks and drive as fast as they can to avoid the lava that is coming down the hills. Owen has been left behind, and when he wakes up, he finds a Sinoceratops licking his face. However, the dinosaur runs away when it sees the lava approaching. Because of the tranquilizer, Owen's body can barely move, so he has to drag it on the ground to escape too. At the radio tower, Claire can't get in contact with anybody. Franklin manages to open the door of an old tunnel, unaware that it connects to the park. As lava starts coming through the cracks in the building, a baryonyx uses the tunnel to come inside. It can't reach them because the lava is between them, but it does fight Franklin when he grabs a chair. Thankfully, he manages to pull it away and they use it to climb the emergency ladder. The baryonyx tries to come after them, but the duo closes the hatch to lock it inside. Then they watch in horror how the volcano keeps erupting and shooting magma bombs. At that moment, Owen appears running on the hill with lots of dinosaurs following him. Claire and Franklin join them to hide in the woods while avoiding the stampeding dinosaurs. They find a gyrosphere behind a fallen tree, so Franklin and Claire immediately get in. However, they can't leave yet because two dinosaurs start fighting near them. Before things can escalate, the T-Rex also shows up and easily overpowers the fighting beasts to make them stop. Afterward, the escape continues with Owen running on foot with the animals while his friends activate the gyrosphere. When they reach the edge of the cliff, everyone falls into the sea. Water starts leaking into the gyrosphere and another magma bomb lands on top of it, causing more damage. Owen soon reaches them and tries shooting at the door, only for a small magma bomb to disarm him. Then he uses his knife and manages to open the door so everyone can swim to the surface. The trio reaches the shore and watches a plane fly by with a caged dinosaur. They return to the base and discover that the mercenaries have captured all the dinosaurs, which are being taken away on a big ship. Zia is tending Blue and Ken uses pliers to get a tooth from a stegosaurus for his collection. It turns out the mercenaries were planning to kidnap the dinosaurs from the beginning. Claire was only hired to activate the tracking system and Owen to get them Blue. The magma bombs soon start falling on the base too, so Zia, the mercenaries, and the dinosaurs are leaving on the ship. The trio runs after it, but they aren't fast enough, so they get in a truck and make a big jump to land inside the ship at the last second. They watch the island burn down and an abandoned brachiosaurus dying on the docks. At the mansion, Eli meets with Gunnar, an auctioneer who will help him sell the dinosaurs. Eli takes Gunnar to a lab, where he reveals that they are creating a new dinosaur called the Indoraptor for military use. Their conversation is heard by Maisie, who rushes to warn her grandfather. However, Benjamin thinks she just misheard them. Back on the ship, the trio sneaks around to reunite with Zia, who informs them that Blue needs a blood transfusion and it can only be provided by the T-Rex. Claire and Owen find the sleeping T-Rex in a container and carefully move near it to stick the needle to take some blood. Unfortunately, a mercenary notices the open door and closes the container. This awakens the T-Rex, which starts thrashing violently. Claire manages to escape through the holes in the ceiling and opens the door so Owen can get out too. They take the blood to Zia, who can finally operate on Blue and remove the bullet. Back to Maisie, she manages to sneak into the secret lab because she saw Eli entering the password. She watches a video of Owen training baby Blue and moves her head like the dinosaur does. At that moment, Eli enters the lab with Dr. Henry, who is worried about the damage the mercenaries may have caused to Blue. Her DNA was used to make the new dinosaur and she'll be needed to keep it under control. Maisie sneaks around to avoid being seen, but she ends up stepping into the forbidden area and the Indoraptor tries to touch her through the bars. Her screams give away her position and she's found by Eli, who immediately takes her to her room and locks her up. Afterward, Benjamin has a meeting with Eli to confront him about his secret plan and threatens to call the police, so Eli kills him. When the ship reaches California, the group tries to leave Blue's container. Owen and Claire manage to sneak inside a truck, but a mercenary finds Franklin and thinks he's part of the crew, so he puts him to work. All the vehicles leave the ship and Claire realizes the dinosaurs are being taken to Benjamin's place. One by one, the beasts are put in cages inside the lab. Unfortunately, Ken finds Claire and Owen in the truck and locks them up in a cell. Eli tells them that selling the dinosaurs isn't different from making money with the park, so Claire hits his head on the bars. Upstairs, Maisie uses a hanger to unlock the door and escapes to the balcony, where she sees all the bidders arriving at the mansion. She dangerously climbs the wall and then the roof to reach her grandfather's bedroom, only to find him dead. When she hears Eli coming, she rushes to hide in the dumbwaiter. Eli pretends he's surprised to find Benjamin dead and fires the housekeeper, saying she's not needed anymore. Maisie makes the dumbwaiter move to escape, so when Eli opens it because of a noise, it's already empty. The auction begins and the dinosaurs are shown off in their cages. Eli makes tons of money while the beasts are put in trucks after they're bought to be sent to their new destinations. In the lab, Owen discovers that the Stygimoloch in the neighboring cell just woke up, so he whistles in order to make it headbutt the wall. Once it makes a hole and crosses to their cell, Owen taunts it to make it attack the door, which opens it. All this is seen by a horrified Maisie, who rushes to hide in the dumbwaiter. The duo offers some gentle words, so a crying Maisie runs to Owen's arms to seek comfort and they agree to bring her along. The group sneaks around until they find a vent to watch the auction. Gunnar shows off the Indoraptor, clarifying it's just a prototype and not for sale right now. Guards keep it down with electric shocks while Gunnar describes all the ways Henry has enhanced the Indoraptor so it'll become a better soldier than humans in the future. By simply using a laser pointer, they can make the Indoraptor obsess over their chosen target. The guests start offering money and Gunnar tries to repeat that it's just a prototype, but Eli loves the high offers he's hearing and tells him to sell it anyway. Henry asks Eli to stop, but he ignores him. A furious Owen looks for the electrical box and manages to activate the elevator. At that moment, the Stygimoloch appears behind him and he gets an idea. Using the elevator, the Stygimoloch is sent to the auction, where it causes chaos by headbutting every person it can reach. A guard gets ready to open fire, but Owen comes out of the elevator too to stop him. Then he starts fighting several mercenaries while the Stygimoloch continues to scare the guests into running away. Eli orders his men to send the Indoraptor back to the lab, so Owen pushes all the guards out of the way until he reaches the lever to stop the cage from leaving. The Stygimoloch follows the crowd out of the mansion to keep headbutting them while they escape. After watching this chaos, a confused Ken enters the mansion and finds the Indoraptor in the cage. He shoots it with tranquilizers and waits until it collapses to go in. Then he tries to get a tooth, but his tool isn't strong enough. The Indoraptor quickly recovers and bites his arm off before devouring him whole. Gunnar watches this from his hiding spot and runs to the elevator, where 3 guests are trying to hide. He pushes a woman out to reach the control panel and she screams, getting the dinosaur's attention. The Indoraptor tries to come after them, but the elevator closes on its face. Then it hits the elevator buttons with its tail to open it again and kills everyone inside. In the corridor, Owen reunites with Claire and Maisie, only to be blocked by 2 guards and Eli, who wants them to hand Maisie over. When they refuse, Owen reveals the truth about Maisie's birth. Benjamin's daughter died young in a car crash and never had children, so Benjamin was desperate to bring her back. Using the technology that cloned extinct dinosaurs, he made a clone of his daughter, who happens to be Maisie. The conversation is interrupted by the Indoraptor, who quickly kills the 2 guards and causes the others to run. In the lab, Henry is making the team evacuate all the experiments and dinosaur samples. He tries to convince a handcuffed Zia to give him a sample of Blue's blood, but he's suddenly attacked by Franklin from behind. After putting Henry to sleep with a tranquilizer, Franklin frees Zia and they try to escape. 2 mercenaries block their way, so Zia opens the cage to release Blue, who immediately attacks the men to kill them. In the struggle, the guards' guns damage the hydrogen gas tanks, but luckily Zia, Franklin, and Blue manage to run away before they explode. Eventually, Owen's group reaches the replica room and has to hide when they see the Indoraptor eating a dead guard. Unfortunately, they stop near a radio, and when it activates, it gives away their location. A chase ensues and the Indoraptor bends the railing around the stairs just to try to reach them, so Owen blocks it with a bar until the beast falls. When the Indoraptor finally manages to reach the upper floor, the trio has already escaped through a hidden door. They find the electricity box and Owen turns off the mansion's power. Zia and Franklin discover a hydrogen cyanide leak near the lab, which will kill all of the dinosaurs if it spreads to the encaging area. However, the ventilators aren't working because of Owen. He uses a computer to reset the system and restore power, turning the lights on at the same time that the trio is trying to sneak out. The Indoraptor sees them and breaks through glass to attack, causing the display to fall and block it. Maisie runs away, but the adults are stuck and the dinosaur's claw hurts Claire's leg. Hearing Maisie scream, the Indoraptor chases her through the corridors until she hides in the dumbwaiter. Claire can't move, so she kisses Owen and asks him to save Maisie, who uses the dumbwaiter to reach her room. The Indoraptor climbs to the roof of the mansion and finds the window to Maisie's room, which it easily opens with its claws. The beast comes inside, but when it's about to attack Maisie, Owen enters the room with open fire. Unfortunately, the shots do no damage to such an enhanced body and the Indoraptor gets ready to counterattack, only for Blue to suddenly tackle it and start a fight. While the dinosaurs throw each other all over the room, Owen and Maisie escape through the balcony and climb the wall. When the beast's attacks destroy a window, they cause the duo to fall and slide down the roof. Blue throws the Indoraptor out, so it starts chasing after the humans, who are crossing a skylight. The rain causes Maisie to slip and Owen catches her just in time, although this leaves him hanging from the edge. At that moment, Claire appears behind the Indoraptor and points a laser at Owen as he climbs back to the roof. The Indoraptor runs after it, but its weight breaks the glass and it almost falls. It holds onto the edge and climbs back to the roof, only for Blue to suddenly tackle it again. Both dinosaurs fall into the display room and the Indoraptor dies when it gets impaled on the horns of a skull. Blue lands safely on its body and runs away. Afterward, the whole team reunites and Franklin shows the others the problem with the cyanide. The ventilation system is damaged, so they couldn't save the trapped dinosaurs. Claire opens all the cages, but Owen reminds her that they aren't on an island anymore, so she doesn't dare to open the front door too. Maisie does it instead and frees the animals while saying she had to do it because they're alive like her. On their way out, the dinosaurs kill the remaining guards and the T-Rex quickly eats Eli. It also steps on the DNA samples, so no Indoraptor will ever be made again. When the team goes outside, Owen finally gets to pet Blue again. He wants her to come with him, but she growls at the cage and runs away. Some days later, Claire and Owen have adopted Maisie. People start seeing dinosaurs in random places, like the beach, the zoo, and even Las Vegas. Now humanity has to learn to coexist with dinosaurs in their everyday lives. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.